All right. Once again, we are here with the African Season Speakers Network, and then we're back on the new season for the Power Impact series. And this season promises to be a very wonderful season because we have a lot of resource people in the house to give us what we are expecting or what we need. My name is Ambassador Benjamin Swanson, and I'm glad to serve you as a host of this new series. And then to kickstart the new series, it's somebody you want to love to hear over and over and over again. This evening, in our time, an afternoon or morning, from wherever you are joining us from, we have in the house a wonderful doctor who is an author by profession. And then he does a lot of training by his calling, and then he does Dex Jockey DJ by passion. So we have a 3-in-1 person this evening who is going to handle a wonderful and an insightful topic which cuts across streets, corporate, wherever you find yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to our series Dr. Theophilus Tackie. I call him Dr. T. Dr. T.
Yo.
Yeah, madame. All right, Dr. T, you're welcome to the series. The Power Impact series. And then, as its name sounds, being brought to you by African Season Speakers Network. And then we are privileged and honored to have you as a powerful voice in the world. And then for this generation, you see, this generation comes at a time where we need voices as yours to impact lives from all walks of area we find ourselves. And then you are the best fit for this season. So someone may ask, or someone will ask, who is Dr. T? Dr. T.
Man, first of all, is the sound check okay for you?
Everything is clear here for us.
Okay, so let me take the opportunity to say a big thank you to yourself and your team for throwing me that privilege and a challenge to be here. I know previous speakers have set a mark, and it's a big shoe that I have to fit in. So hopefully I do. So thank you to all the viewers and the listeners. I don't take any opportunity lightly, and so I'm honored to be called upon to come share this with you. So who is Dr. T? So little boy born half bred in Jamestown, made my way to my grandmom's place. I think that's where we have the connection, North Carnation. So that's where we have the connection. And so born Anglican, raised myself Assemblies of God, all through it's been a government school, like Saito, all through, from primary school through up until I went to secondary school. So the life, when we talk about hustle, I know it. So bachelor's in accounting, MBA finance, another MBA I won't mention, and then a doctorate. So pretty much, and then I have several certifications under my belt. Just by the grace of God, and for once I'll tell you about the hustle, and that's how far I've come. So I'm an author, a speaker, a lecturer, and a street defender, podcast host. I'm a handyman. I do everything pretty much, sports to entertainment. And so my passion is music and table tennis. I'm sure you know that. Pretty much, that's about me. That's just about it. So I've done corporate world, I've done Unilever, I've done Interplast, I've done the military, US Navy for 8 years. And then I have authored a book right when I just completed my doctorate 2 years ago. And then I'm working on my second one. I should be done launching. I'm hoping to launch it by December in Ghana. So I'll be flying over to Ghana very soon. And so pretty much, I love to mentor students. I love to mentor and coach students. So that's pretty much about me. So
All right. This is a tall list. I was just listening to it as if I was just interviewing someone from CNN. But hey.
I know, right?
This is a tall list. So we are privileged to have you here. Doctorate, 2 masters. Wow. one you are not going to mention. We are not asking you, so keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
we'll find out. Yeah, we'll find out. And I remember those days. Yeah, this guy, taught me how to use. Okay, in our part of the world, we call it a pen. When you're holding the table tennis bat, you have a pen. He taught me.
Like so many years ago. You're talking about somewhere like 25 years over.
Exactly. 25 or more.
95, 96.
5 thereabout.
Yeah. Back in the days, man.
Yeah, back in the days. And he was our champ, so he showed us how to.
Well, I tried. And the funny thing, it was my. Eventually, he also came up very good. It was myself, 𝘖𝙧𝙚𝙀𝘾𝙨, and then this guy in the UK right now. Well,
this Solomon.
No, this guy in the UK now he's a minister. 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗.
Lawson, yes, Minister Lawson.
Yeah,
man, he was an icon. He was the icon. He was the one everybody was aiming to be like. Sure.
You're right. Yeah, I remember. So today we're going to talk about hustle, the art of the hustle.
The art of the hustle. So, well, over to you to just give us all that you have for the art of the hustle. We are all ready, and then I'm sure viewers. Whilst he's giving us the brief or giving us the in-depth knowledge of what he's come to share with us, please, if you have any questions, you can pop it up in the chat box, and then we're going to give it up to him whilst he's giving us the presentation. So over to you, Dr. T.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. And so, like I said, I don't take it. Every privilege is an opportunity to impact. So we, the Royal Rangers, we are always ready to serve. So I'm ready to serve you today. And so let's go into the nitty-gritties. Let's put some structures into it. So by the time we finish this program, we have an understanding of the art of the hustle. Now, when we say something is an art, it's that moment when you express yourself or apply yourself to something, and usually you have a pictorial, you have it in your head, but you have to express it in a pictorial view in order for us to understand what you're thinking. In other words, when I look at a picture, I know what the artist is thinking. So when I look at a footballer, the skill he displays on, I know what he was thinking when he was playing. And so everything in this world is an art. God is the master architect and the artist. Okay, so when he created the world, he put everything where it's supposed to be, separated where water, and gave it boundaries. He said it is good after everything. So he expressed himself through the creation. And so we are no less than an artist too when he created us in his image. And so we express ourselves in all our behaviors, everything we do, we are expressing ourselves what is here.
Okay.
I'm putting structure to it. And so hustle, it means different things to different people. Now, everything we are doing in this world is struggling for our attention. Everything we're doing in this world. So something is struggling for your time, your kids, your work, your social life, everything is struggling for you to get your attention, your time. And so there are stuff that you can control, some you cannot control. Everything else is struggling for you. Some you can control. The ones you cannot control and the ones you can, they are all competing for your time and your attention. And so we were brought here for a purpose. Like everybody, see, the only time somebody becomes legend and great is when the person identifies his purpose, the reason why he's here, and stick to it. So in that transitioning what is here, expressing it into your skill and bringing it out there to serve humanity, that is the art of the hustle. So how do you do it?
Exactly the question.
Okay, so thank you. We are bringing it here. So when you're able to earn something or make something from seemingly nothing, that is hustle. Earning or making something out of seemingly nothing, that is the hustle. Now, let me bring this. This is just the preamble. We'll get into it where it will all connect. Now, you see how our educational system is structured in Africa or in Ghana, for instance. How Everything else is centered around structure. In other words, go to class, after class, come back to class. In between them, you take breaks. You get this note, you chew it, you come back, they tell you there's an exam, you take the exam, and then everything else is measured on just that 5 hours or 3 hours exam that you write, and then they categorize you people into intelligent or unintelligent or average or just passing through.
Exactly.
And so I've grown to come understand that we've put all these kids, our time, into classroom, and we are measuring them based off of how we have structured a system, and we call it education. And based off of that, we are able to determine whether somebody is intelligent or not. And so we fail to understand that when God was creating everything, first of all, everything was chaotic when he created it. And then he managed to put systems in place. In other words, don't forget that in the course of the structure, there was the chaos and then the structure. But we've left the chaos and we are only examining the structure. Some people perform better when they are out of structure.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Have you seen the reason why the ones who were supposedly performing very well in the classroom after school, when they are out of the structure, you know, they've been told when you're in school, you've been told when to, in the boarding house, time to sleep, time to wake up, time to go for preps, time to go clean, time to go, you know, dining, time, everything is structured. And so they perform very well with that kind of structure. And so the class, time we close class, time we study, time we write, and then we take exam, and then the teacher will bring your performance and then tell you you are an average student or not. That is the structure. But the world that when we finish school, when the one that we go face, it has, for the most part, it doesn't respect structure. And so I have taken the time to research all the time from my primary school through JSS, the Saito school that I went. And I've realized that those who are performing are the ones that we did not even recognize as the intelligent ones in the classroom. In other words, some people operate out of the structure. Some know how to hustle. Hustle has to some people, hustle is a structure. To some people, hustle is no structure. So if you put all these people in a classroom or in any setting or in an organization and you give them structure, some people perform free will. Stop monitoring me, just give me the job and don't babysit me, or in other words, micromanage me. Give me the job, give me the instructions and leave me alone. I'll put my ingenuity, the art that I have here, the hustle, put it into the work and I'll bring you the final output. Some too, you have to identify. If you don't sit on them, telling them what to do, teaching them, babysitting them, you don't get an output.
Exactly.
So the art of the hustle is how you do your stuff to achieve your result, to get to your purpose. And in that transition, if you know, you have to know yourself. In that transitioning what you know, what you have here into your real life to make your life better and to achieve your goals, you have to know yourself. Now, this is where it gets interesting. It's a mindset thing. Hustlers are go-getters.
That's right.
So I told you the art is transferring what is here into a pictorial view or activity. The hustle is the real way you do that, the means and the how you do that. Hustlers are go-getters. One thing you know is that it's everything here emanates from the mindset. So that in Jamestown, where I grew up, a lot of people, you know, they don't cherish school because, for one, they've not seen the real benefit of what school has brought to them. So most of them dropped out. By the time we got to JSS, they had already dropped out. They're selling their stuff and they are doing very well. However, that is not to say that education has no meaning to them. It's just it didn't work for them. So they prefer the unstructured hustle. So they identified their stuff. They started getting their goals, doing everything to go get their goals very early. Some of us stayed in the structure. And after the structure, now we came back to the streets. And so now everything I learned here is what I'm applying to myself, and I'm on the streets and it's working good for me. So now let's go into it. If you don't do it yourself, right? Just like Abraham Lincoln said something, let me put this into it. It will bring meaning to what we are saying. Abraham Lincoln said something, and he said, if you don't go get what you want will not come to you.
If you don't
In
go
other
get
words,
what you want,
if you don't go
what you
get it,
want.
it won't come to you. And half the time, if you don't hustle in the process of going to get it, you only go get the leftovers of what the hustlers they've left behind. They take the juicy part and everything, and then is what is left. Then you go crumple on and think you're successful. So now,
Wow.
as the mindset, success right now in this world is reserved for those who push. Forget all the stuff you've learned from school, because like I said, the world out there doesn't respect structure. The world makes space for those who push, those who are able to break through the cracks. So that, okay, Ben has several degrees in computer science and everything. If you don't push, who cares? You sit in your room.
Yeah, sure.
And probably if I give you any project in computer science and everything, and you still don't push, you are just like anybody else. But remember, somebody can come without a skill, and the person is willing to learn, will be under you, and before you know it, he's managing the company you are in.
Exactly.
Success is, right now, the world is looking for confident people, hustlers, like people who, like, you know what, I'll give it a shot, I'll try it. Even if I fail, I'll still push. And so this is what will lead me to, so I tell you, now in everything, like I'm saying, everything is looking for your attention. Everything, and those things that distract you, those are looking for your attention, they will either lead you to your purpose, or it will lead you away from your purpose, lead you to your goal or away from your goal. And that is where the art of the hustle will come in, so that this is your purpose, this is the world, and in between you are there. Everything else is pulling you. So what are you paying attention to lead you to your goal? That's the hustle.
Sure.
So that, before Usain Bolt will come set the world record, the 9.58, he was hustling in the gym for hours and weeks and days and months and years, and you have no idea about. You only saw the final product, the record that he set. So what he was doing in the gym and the record he set on that day tells me the kind of hustle and the mindset he has. So he was preparing with the end. He was preparing when he was praying with the end in his mind, that, okay, I'm going to push. The one who has the record before was 9.68. So let me push it 10 seconds more. No, 6.99, 9.69, sorry. 9.69. So he pushed it to 9.58, which is 11 microseconds less.
Whoa.
But do you know that 11 microseconds less? Do you know what it takes to be preparing for? That is the hustle, the commitment, the determination, and everything else. So now in order to put structure to it. So viewers, if you're listening, you can put your comment underneath and we'll take it, so that it won't be like, so it will be an engaging one. So somebody will ask, I mean, how do I do all this, or why do we even need the hustle thing? Because let me tell you, in this world, right, the very few people who have made it, and they've been school dropouts and everything. When they tell their story, all you hear is hustle. Talk about the Bill Gates, talk about the Mark Zuckerberg, talk about the Oprah Winfrey, and some of them they operated out of the structure because they were in the structure. They realized it didn't work for them. Their hustle is different. And so they identified themselves. They were like, you know what? Well, I'm not performing here. I'm not writing everything out. I'm going to go try here. And the street accepted them because you know what? The determination, the street, it only respects confidence. Okay. Why do you think two salesmen will come stand there and one will get my attention? It's not like what the other one is saying doesn't make sense or anything. But this one exudes confidence. So I feel like he knows his stuff. Even if what he's saying is the wrong stuff, you probably have no idea. You probably listen, and then after you go research to know whether whatever the person was saying is right or not. But the confidence. Confidence. So check out those guys who sell cars, the Mokola woman and everything. As they are singing, they are applying all kind of stuff, tricks and everything. It's the hustle, the art. It's here. He's bringing into it. Convince you, if I were the customer who walked in, how would I want to be sold to? How would I want to be talked to? How they want to be respected and everything. So now they put themselves in the shoe and they hustle through. So now I have few points I'll share with you. Highly effective. You see, there are some habits. Everybody is hustling, like I'm saying. So if you are in a corporate organization and you want promotion, the promotions are only a handful, and there's a number of you. So they're going to be giving it to the best among equals. In other words, thank you. In other words, it's not going to be given to only the person who comes to work early and leave late and be working and producing the ordinary output. It's the person they can tell. These days, HRs are looking at the way you interact with people, your social, your social skills, your human relation, that kind of stuff. Your managerial skill. Your managerial skill can be part of your hustle. Your academic, the way you're improving yourself and everything. Because it's not only everything is evolving. Like I tell you, the world around you is evolving. Things are changing. Even this COVID made us understand that the things that were relevant then is no more relevant now. The things that were relevant from few years ago is no more relevant, and now we are fighting more for our lives. Like, what is going to make me better? What is going to make me live longer and everything? So in between that, they're looking at, if you are serving people, are you doing it with your heart or because you've been hired to do that? See, if I'm a manager and I sit on your board, or I'm a director and I sit on your board or anything, or I sit on your senior management, I'm looking at not only the skill that you have, what you've learned from school. That one, everybody else coming, we hire the best, like they have the skill. But I'm looking at something beyond that. Are you ready to serve? Are you ready to take up challenges and be like, you know what? This challenge is big, but still, let me own it up. Let me make some mistakes and still learn from it.
Sure.
So when I was in the military, a lot of people, when they bring their challenges, they run away, they shy from it, because probably it's a kind of simulation or a kind of project where you have to wake up in the morning very early, go to bed very late and everything. But those are the very projects that gives the ranking.
Oh, okay.
They look at your commitment, look at your attitude towards all these challenges that are coming. Are you running away from it, or you're embracing it and hoping to learn or make mistakes and own them up? And so we rose through the military, the ranks and everything, not because somebody favored us, but because we put ourselves into it. Like, we committed ourselves. Every time, whatever I'm doing, I commit myself to it. I'm in it, like, all through. And so we're looking at it. I'll give you the behavior of highly effective hustlers. So hustler, it can be anything. You can be hustling in your job. But one thing I'll tell you that everybody should take away: for you to be an effective hustler, you should dominate yourself. Be disciplined yourself, the way you eat, your exercise, your state of mind, your health, everything. Dominate yourself. That's the only way you can dominate whatever is outside of you. Because in everything, like I told you, everything is battling for your attention. Some will distract you, some will lead you to your purpose. However, you're a vehicle. Your mind, your body is a vehicle. So you let things stress you up, or you don't exercise well. This body is a vehicle. If you don't change the oil, it's just like what we transport from home to our work office. You don't change the oil. You don't listen to the tune-ups. You don't pay attention to the shocks and everything. Eventually, it will break down. So your hustle will end somehow abruptly, halfway in between. And so the hustle, there are different levels. Like I'm saying, if you're in the corporate where you're looking for promotion, you're looking for a way to become a senior manager. If you are on the street, you're looking at how you can walk there confidently and be selling whatever you're selling, or you're a farmer, how you can earning the best, having the best harvest and everything. So everybody else is hustling in a different way. However, the art, how are you going to be effective? Okay, how are you going to be effective? It rests on you. And so I'm going to tell you, this is the behavior that you can inculcate into your life and eventually become the best or the effective hustler.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all is to help people. Now, what do I mean by helping people as a habit for a hustler? See, when you begin to see people that you're on the street with, or in the corporate organization where you are been, you begin to see everybody as a competitor who needs to be destroyed or eliminated on your way. You behave different.
Sure.
And when you see people as competitors who I should learn from, or they also learn from, so I can get better and outsmart what they are doing, you behave different. You see where this thing is going?
Yeah, I'm catching the drift.
So helping people is number one. I'm saying when you begin to see people as a competitor to be eliminated or destroyed, you behave different. And when you see people as a means to create a social network, so we have a healthy competitive environment that I can learn from and you can also learn from me, you behave different. So now I ask, which of the divide are you? Are you on the dog eat dog or the network side to help?
Yeah.
If you see yourself, if you see the competitive world as a dog eat dog, then you want to eliminate everybody on your way. Anybody who is a competitor, you have to eliminate the person by hook or crook means. So be ready to serve anytime, help people. Number one, that's it, the habit of a hustler. The reason why you have to help everybody, because the same ladder, see, the very people that when I was climbing the ladder of life by the grace of God and I was going up, the very people that I came across in between and I left behind, when I wrote my book and I started going on tour, I needed the same people to come for my programs.
The same people, relationships.
So if you step on these people on your way up, remember when you get there, you need them somehow. Imagine you invent a product, or this service that you're rendering, giving back through this service. Who are the people who are going to watch? Sometimes there'll be people above you and below you. So if you stepped on the people below you and you went up there, so help people. Help people. If you can help them, well. If you cannot, don't touch them. All right. So number two, the second one that I'm going on, make friends.
Okay.
So on the street, for people on the street, remember, those who sell, they know where the good stuff are. So that if somebody needs something, I know where to go to get what.
Perfect.
But for the corporate guy like your type, you need those friends. We call them network. So that if you are there and you're an MC for events, if you have a network, you can be sure that maybe in a year, if by yourself you're gonna get like 4 references by yourself, work for 4 programs, because you have a social network and you've made friends. Somebody's gonna refer somebody who's gonna refer somebody who's gonna make a phone call and call somebody and be like, oh, I know this guy who can make your wedding very great. So you make friends. It doesn't matter. Let it cut across. Those below you, those above you, and be that person who is a hustler, that you exude some kind of aura and fragrance around you that everybody want to be around you. It's not a time for arrogance when God blesses you, so you come back and you have all the degrees and everything, so you are riding on high horse. You don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to deal with people. No, that's the time. That's when even you have to come down to serve people. So what you have is giving back to the people. These are people who come down to anybody's level to talk to them and to deal with them. They are so attractive. Have you seen people like that? That's why in Royal Rangers, one thing we know is ready to serve. We are ready to serve. It's so attractive, people who are ready to serve.
Sure.
So number one is to help people. Number two is to make friends.
Wow. So Dr. T, just a little point at the number one point, help people. So I'm getting a message from Oluwatosin, who is saying that if you cannot help them, touch them. Can you dive a bit into that for us to see? If you cannot help them,
don't touch them.
No, he said if you can't help them, touch them. So I don't maybe yeah.
Okay, maybe he got it. He was quoting what I said earlier, that if you cannot help them, don't touch them. I don't know what he's saying, but if you cannot help them, don't touch them. In other words, don't change the perception you have in your head so you don't see people as your competitors for them to be destroyed. So Ben, if we feel that we are, right? When I decided to enter into this podcast field and my lecturing field, I graduated 2 years ago. Obviously, what you learn in the classroom and the reality on the ground, sometimes, like I said, they are different things. That's why people finish school and it doesn't necessarily make them the great people or the best people in the field. You can have the doctorate and everything, but the field is different. That's what I'm saying. The world doesn't respect structure. So that's why you have to go out there. Why do you think doctors come out and they have to go for housemanship for years just so they can know, practice what they've learned? In other words, they are telling you that sometimes you meet situation is different from what you've practiced in the book. Why do you think why do you think lawyers come and they have to go serve under senior lawyers, so they carry their books and then go with them to the court and then they learn the procedures, and then it's not like they don't know, they've learned everything. The situations are different. That's why the hustle, you have to define your own hustle and walk through it. And so what I mean by don't touch them, it means don't leave them any worse off than you met them.
Okay.
So that I don't come to you, Ben, you're also in the same field, you do MC, and I'm also a DJ, I do MC. So that's not because, okay, Ben is so I'm going to talk trash about you, I'm going to destroy you on social media, I'm going to wait till you blunder on any program that you're doing, and I exhibit it on social media. Oh, look at why are you hiring this guy, It's not for me to crush you. Like, the world, it's a big space for us. We can all occupy somewhere in the sky.
Exactly.
So I don't have to look for your downfall. That's why I feel like I'm rising. We can all rise
together.
So the art of the hustle. If you learn the hustle well, effective hustlers know that I am learning. So right now I'm learning something from you. You also learn something from me. Iron sharpens iron. We are rubbing off each other. So number one is to help each other. Is to help when you can, serve when you can. So it is in the serving that you also learn.
Perfect.
Lawyers serve when they finish in chambers and they learn more in turn. Doctors finish when they do their housemanship, they learn more in return. It's the same thing on the streets. So on the streets, look at it. Usually you find somebody who want to open a cassette store, or want to do a plantain store, or want to do a restaurant. Some have the time, they go to somebody who's also opened it before, then act like they're more like a waiter, and then they are learning the nitty-gritties. By the time they leave, they're going to go open their own. Most mechanics, they study under people, work for them as an apprentice, and then before you know, they are bosses. They've only opened their own shop. So you realize that you have to help. Christ himself, when he came, he wanted to save the world. He came to serve. He became a friend. He became a friend to the disciples. Number two, he became a friend. He came to help and became a friend too. He expanded. He realized that he couldn't do it because he came in the form of human. He's not an island. He could have commanded angels to help. But when you enter some realms, you have to operate in that protocol. He came as a human being, so he had to operate like a human. He needed people. Is everything making sense? So everybody is hustling different. You just have to identify what you need to make your hustle meaningful. So I'm telling you what has helped me to reach where I am, and I'm still climbing. I don't think I've, even to the extent the last 2 months, I'm looking for another doctorate course to go smash. I don't stop because it has become a habit. You get what I mean? So point number 2 is to make friends, so that out of the friendship, you can open up your network, and then your hustle is, you don't hustle hard when you have a network and everybody else is helping. You are helping, they're helping. So it's just like a DJ thing. When I started this DJ thing, for the most part, I was playing for free. So I go for one program, I'll play for free, maybe a friend or a friend's friend, play for free. Before you know, somebody else right there, because I'm performing, I believe in my skills. Right there, somebody will be like, oh, I have this party, I have a wedding coming up, and then that's where I make my money. So sometimes something is got to pay for something. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
I get it.
So
the ripple effect is a ripple effect.
So don't sit there thinking that, oh, because I'm a skilled DJ, so I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. No, you have to give up something sometimes to get something. So make friends and then be ready to help each other. Number 3 is eliminate distraction. In the process of the hustling, like I told you earlier, everything is fighting for your attention. Sometimes you have to turn that phone notification off so that you can focus. There's some people, they drain your energy. Some events drain your energy. Some things drain your energy. And you need that same energy to perform and to hustle. So sometimes it means shutting down that email. Sometimes it means turning off that WhatsApp. Sometimes it means shutting down, uninstalling that Facebook and coming back later, days, weeks after, to install the Facebook back. Because at that point, Facebook is good.
Hello, Dr. T. Hello, Dr. T. Can you hear me, Dr. T? All right, so viewers, yeah, let's just see we're having a little bit of a technical hitch here. We'll just, in a brief, reconnect to Dr. T to continue this lovely discussion that he's giving to us. I mean, this is the power impact. Yeah. So I think Dr. T is back with us. Dr. T.
Yo.
Yeah,
So
sorry,
sorry,
I think
network.
yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Don't worry. We are making friends, so I'm sure it's part of it.
So like I said, so number 3 is to eliminate distraction. And by that, I know you know yourself. You know what drains you, know what takes your energy, you know what distracts you from your focus. So that if you wake up in the morning and this notification are coming on your phone, bing, 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 and it's always distracting you from the real thing that you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to channel your energy. You know yourself. And I always tell my students the same way. Look, me, I wasn't born bright. But I've rolled with bright people. I learn from them what they do. I realize that even the ones that we think they are bright, it takes practice, a lot of time, math, English, whatever. They practice a lot, they read a lot and everything. So I realized, okay, nobody was born bright. So they made themselves bright. So why am I sitting there thinking that I'm an average student so I can perform? And when that mindset changed, I rose from the government school to rise to becoming right now that when I write my articles and stuff, I get standing ovation. It's practice. It's hustle. Just know yourself. Like hustle, like put yourself into, commit yourself. I decided when I was going through the doctorate, when I rose, I made the dean's list all through from my master's to everything. I made the dean's list. I got the standing ovation. This is what I realized. I realized, okay, social media was a distraction. Talking to friends were a distraction and everything because too many friends. So I decided at some point I'm going to uninstall some things. Some things that make people get access to me. And I uninstalled a lot of softwares and a lot of apps that make people get access to me. So when I wake up, I don't look forward to go on my phone to go look for it because I told myself, so because I uninstalled it, even when I went in there, it's not there. Then my mind tells me, you know why you uninstalled it? To get back to focus.
Sure.
So for some years, I'm sure, Ben, so a lot of people, they didn't hear from me. And the reason is I was working on myself. I was hustling. I was determined. I wanted to finish what I want to do. Friends will always be there. Ben, friends and family will always be there. Hustle for what you want. So eliminate the distraction. Eliminate it. If it means some people you have to block them on your phone, block them. Not because you are fighting, but because you know what drains your energy.
Okay.
So go achieve your goal. Come back and explain to them later. Oh, bro, Ben, sorry, this be the reason why I do. Charlie, then, my mind make plenty, so I beg. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed to focus, and they will understand. Bring the results, and they will understand. This is why I had to go off social media. This is why I had to close certain chapters. This is why I had to, some people I had to love them from afar. So eliminate distraction. Number 4, get focused. Like some people, we find ourselves every time doing a lot of things, plenty. Some are blessed with multitasking. That's okay. But if you are not, take one thing at a time, one project at a time. And then when you master the hustle, the art of the hustle, you can juggle between a lot of things. Now, I'm able to DJ, do podcast. I do self-production. I'm going to go lecture. Sometimes I lecture in my ear. I'm going to go MC for another program. I've been called as an author to go present in the specific forum. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm on the field coaching, kids how to play soccer and everything. I'm playing long tennis. I'm doing. But my thing is, I did not do everything at one time. I learned them step by step, and then eventually everything I'm on top of every game.
So was it that, Dr. T? Let me check in. So was it that you kind of identified one thing that you wanted to hustle on, and then with that focus, all the other things came out, or you started?
Thank you. You are following. You are following. So the thing is, see, your energy is your stress. Your energy is limited.
Yeah.
Your attention span is limited. Everything else is limited because you operate. You're a human being. You operate. You get exhausted. You get burned out. So identify that one thing that you think will carry you to that goal. So if you're a musician and you want to distinguish yourself, learn an instrument on top of what you're doing. It takes the level to a different. See, that's why I respect 𝙏𝙚𝙚𝙀𝙏.
Yeah. I post to me.
He's not. Thank you. And he's not just singing. He's giving you the keys. He's talking about the keys. What he understands what will make this music reach out to the people. So he's playing the keys himself and he's singing. And so for me, those of us who appreciate music, when we are looking, I'm like, this is a musician, not just a singer, not a vocalist, or he's a musician. He's an embodiment. And he didn't just get there. He hustled different from the rest. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
And so I watched one of his videos. He came out. He was like, it was a program. And I saw one of the videos. He said, you know what? I'm not just coming to mime. There's a band. Let's use the band. That's what musicians do. I started clapping. Meanwhile, the same money, he said, no, I'm not going to shortchange you. If I'm a musician, I need to use the band. These are what we work with. So let's work with it. Other people will come and they slot in the CD and they come mime and they take the money and go away. You know what that means? If I'm organizing the program, I won't call such a person. What you work with, what you work with, let me come on the stage and work with what you work in the studio, work with it on the stage. Let's see. So the hustle is different. You see, does that answer? Like, identify what you're doing and put yourself into it. So everything else that you work with, know them. So you are an IT expert and you should be abreast with all the latest softwares that will help what you are doing. So that if you're cybersecurity, all the softwares that help with cybersecurity, when they are out, at least for a year, you should know there's a software like that out there. If possible, learn about it. So hustle different. Don't just hear about it. Don't just talk about it. Be about it. Like be it.
Be it.
Are you going to be that go-to person if they need something in that organization? Oh, let's go and ask Ben. He will definitely know something about it. Now your hustle, you have arrived.
You
see, so the hustle is different. Like hustle, like put yourself into it. Be in the moment. Let's go and ask this guy, like this lady. She will know something about this by all means. Then now it tells me you've hustled. So the hustle means like it's not the one that on the street, let's go jam somebody and take their bag. Or no. I'm talking about where your focus and your determination come to produce a confident you.
Confident you.
Your focus and your determination and everything else come together to produce a confident you. And before you be confident in anything, to exhibit that confidence, you know what you're about. It means you've hustled. Now you are expressing a pictorial view in your skill, what is here. So in other words, you are an art now. You are an artist. So you think about it. You can, through your skill, you can make me understand and I can learn something from you. Then now you understand the art of the hustle. So don't just talk about it. You know, we grew up with friends who they were talking, dream big when we were talking. And those of us who shut up, we were listening, we were picking from it. And now ask yourself, where are all those guys we started with? No, ask yourself, where are all those guys we started with at North Carnation? They went to the big schools, the 𝚑𝐺𝐵𝐺, the Jack and Jill, where are they? So you see, you understand the art, the hustle is different. In school, when we're wearing the uniform, the Jack and Jill, 𝚑𝐺𝐵𝐵, Morning Star. So when we completed, I was expecting it to translate into the real life. And I realized the hustle is different. Don't mistake it.
Okay.
The intelligence we measure in the classroom is different from the intelligence they measure on the street. On the street, the world makes space for people who are confident, who are determined, success is reserved for people who are just confident. That's it. Period.
Confidence.
So get up, make your mistake confidently and in style. Like, maybe but Charlie, because on the street, the best teacher that is ever existing is the failure. It's mistakes. Talk to Despite, talk to Kenneth Japan, talk to other people, and they will tell you the kind of how many businesses they've opened that they failed. So that particular one that you know they've been so successful, you have no idea how many of them that they failed before, the kind of money they've lost. The friends they have to cut. Things they have to get away with. Distractions. To get to now that you hear despite, but you don't know his failures. They don't talk about it. You have to get close. And so eliminate distraction. Now get focused. Number 4. Then improve daily. That's the street. See, the street that you see, like the world, in the world. When I talk about the street, for me, your office can be your street. Your marriage can be your street. Your social life can be your street. Everything. I'm just using it literally.
Okay.
It's okay. So literally, so that's what I mean. Your street. If you're not improving and you get to the point where everything you know is in the past, and you don't accept change, abai ashimbo. So when it got to the point where COVID made us realize that, we've been running around, but we are not taking care of our health. And then now everything was limited to social media. Those people who could not maneuver around the computers and everything, you see what happened? Quickly, they started losing their jobs. In America, especially. Yeah, because now if you can work on computer to work from home, then what's the point? But I know you're seeing.
Yeah.
So I witnessed a situation where with a faculty in the university, a lot of them, they didn't pick classes because it has to be virtual and they don't know how to work it. And they were not ready to learn. So daily and constantly you have to be improving. Look out for in your field, look out for what is there. Like what's the next software? Can you yourself come up with something? What is the next software they are breaking? What problem is it solving? Mm-hmm. If there's nothing out there like that, hey, boom, opportunity for you. Can I create something like that will solve problems? Mm-hmm. 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 So improve daily. That's the hustle. That's the art of the hustle. Improve daily. As I know, fast. Now you got to the point where you've eliminated distraction. You've got focus. If you got focus, then the thing, whatever you're focusing on, should expand. It's physics. When it's expanding, it's getting better. Hello, Mali.
Yeah, expansion.
So the brain itself, like we all came with a blank brain. What makes people bright, intelligent, and other people is what they feed here to expand. That's why you remember those days when we were in the drama group. They give us the whole booklet we have to go study and the characters we have to play, and we have to say it several times to rehearse it to stick here. You remember?
I remember.
Because at that point, I remember those days. Francis Asafoje will go face there's a little plantation in their house, on the right, when you enter the house, it's on the left side. That guy will be hiding in there, reciting the thing several times. Do you know what you're doing? That's your hustle.
Okay.
So you are at that point, you are programming your brain to understand the hustle. And so 7 times eventually becomes habit. It sticks in there. Sure. Perfect. It sticks in there 7 times. The brain gets to realize that this is what you want to do. It must accept it, or just it will accept it.
So you have to discipline the brain to accept what you want.
Unlearn some things and learn some things. Not even it's deep. That's the hustle. Unlearn those nonsense distractions. Unlearn them. Take them out of your brain, and now put in the one that you want to do.
That's right.
So you see where I'm going with the hustle. So it's not the one that they jump on the street or on the market side. They want to take somebody's bag. No. I'm talking about hustling your own career, dominating yourself, knowing yourself, and dominating everything. There are some people talking to people in front of cameras is their problem. Mm-hmm. That's the more reason why now you have to hustle to put yourself in front of the camera. If it means putting your own camera in front of you and start talking, record it, and listen to yourself after. Give yourself marks out of 10. How have I performed? And if you have a good friend, if you've made good friends, like I mentioned earlier, make friends. Then you can send it to that friend and be like, hey, I'm just talking about this topic. What do you think? How did I perform? Feedback. That's where now it will get to the point where you've become focused, you're improving daily, because that person will give you honest feedback.
Okay.
So your hustle is getting better and better and better. Oh, no, you get to a point you'll be thinking, oh, even in my state, I still have a lot more to learn. But when people look at you, they're like, man, they're looking at a master artist. And so now, big thinking. My set point, big thinking.
Big thinking.
There's no point. I'm also one thing somebody said that aim for the sun out there so that even if you miss it, you land in the clouds.
Straight.
So that right now, what you've started, I didn't know I would start and be lecturing in the United States, or I'll have students in China and Europe, and I didn't start out like that. Some people will start with that in their head. I mean, I didn't start because where I came from, not a lot of people have come to my position in Jamestown.
Yeah.
But you see, what I knew, I'm committing myself to becoming better for myself. And then eventually, because I was better and I was prepared, when the doors were open, I was ready.
Oh, okay.
Some people will have to start with that in their head, that, you know what, I want to get to the point where I'm even called to Harvard to come give talks about my success story, about my hustle. And then they start. So they start with the end in their mind. Some just be about it, be about your regular work, and then before you know it, you are there. Either way, we are all climbing the same ladder, but different kind of ideologies and different routes, different hustle. So respect other people's hustle. So big thinking, think big. And then one thing about it, hustle, people feel because I've been to school, I should be working for the Unilevers and the Nestle's, and no, those are those old age mentality. How about you finish school and start your own hustle, start your own company? It will be small, it will be let people laugh and everything. How about you hustle your own? How about you start small? How about you start small with one computer, with one cable, with internet bundle, and then before you know it, in a few months or years, you are also a big company that you can compete. How about that? How about if you make good friends, you put them together as a consortium and start a company? How about that hustle? So why have we been programmed to think that, okay, he's finished GIMPA with his master, so he should be working for MTN or he should be working for Vodafone? I should see with some tag that I work for Vodafone or no. And pretty much, if you watch those who they've been to the corporate world, that's okay. But the stress on them is different. If you open your own thing, they are earning time, but you are making time. There's a difference.
Earning time and making time.
They give their time for money. You make your own time however you want it to go. And with time, it's just a matter of time. Have you seen anybody richer than the owner of the company?
I don't know.
Have you gone anywhere and the people working there, they are richer than the owner of the company?
No.
Exactly. So that's why the world billionaires, even themselves, it's their own business that created the wealth for them. They didn't work for somebody to become billionaires. So they kind of the billions that they want to maintain, they need their own business. They work their own business and give them that money. So create your own hustle. Hustle. If it's a side hustle, some people, it takes time for them to finally get into the groove of, okay, now I can, because they can't take risk. Fine. So start slowly while you are working for somebody. Start your own hustle. If it means maybe a book club, something, before you know it, you are so into it that you can leave your organization and hold on to this, and it will take care of you.
Beautiful.
And so big thinking. Now, be authentic, be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. That thing, walking in other people's shadow, nothing, if it's not original, it's just a matter of time.
If
it's not original, it's just a matter of time. Because when time will test you whether you are authentic or not. So that's why somebody like this artist, Black Sherif, I hope he doesn't change. I'm a musician, so usually I say I love music, so I'm into their industry. So when I listen to them, look at all those people who were trying to sing like that Lumba or 𝙘𝙀𝙀 or trying to, you're mutating and check. It's just a matter of time you burn out. But be yourself. Come out with who you are, what you have, and let the fans love you, and it stays forever. So the Korean they stayed true to themselves. They don't remember. That's them. So why are you trying to copy them? Come up with yours and let's love you. So Black Sheriff, he came telling his story. Look how it has caught on. That's a different kind of hustle. He understands it. So that's what I mean. When I say hustle, come with your confident self. In other words, your determination, your focus, and everything. Bring it together and let's love you who you are. So
but Dr. T, let me come in. Isn't it a form of fear that a person coming out is having some fear? So he wants to walk in someone's shoe for some time and think that with that one they can now discover themselves.
Yeah, that's also possible. However, you see, what you stand to lose is the fact that when people come to love you for that style, it's hard for them to accept you when you become your true self.
Okay.
Because at that point now, we are measuring you who you were before and who you are now, and be like, oh, you've changed. We don't like this style. But you see, if you stay true to yourself and come out with your true self, the few fans who accept you, they accept you for who you are, and they be true loyal friends. Loyal fans.
Loyal fan.
So the thing is, why are you like everything else is there to make us to bring the fear into your life. I mean, everything around us is bringing fear. The fear you are afraid that you will fail, and people will chastise you, and they will talk about you, and you become the topic, and bloggers will also handle you the way they want. But the thing is, it is in that failure that you learn. It is in that failure that you learn. That's why you need the right friends around you. Because it's in that despair moment that you need the friends who will put your life back in perspective. I believe in you. I trust in you. Let's go again. You know, that's why in the military we have battle buddies. We don't fight alone. No military man stands alone fighting. We go in battle, like we go battle with friends, battle buddies, like in groups. Yeah, we don't. No. Because your mental state, sometimes you are not in the right frame of mind, but somebody else will say something that will ginger you.
Okay.
That's why you need a right friend. Why do you think Jesus maintained the same disciple for the whole time? and they were the same disciples, and they were different characters.
Yeah.
When he wanted to go pray, he called two.
Yeah.
He wants to feast, he goes with all of them. He wants to go somewhere sometime. He knows who he said. So even among the 12 that he was working with, he was selecting.
There was a particular three.
Thank you.
The inner circle people.
You get what I mean? So everybody is not for you, and you are not for everybody. So just identify who you are and what. Because look, if you are serving everybody in the world, you are a one-time hypocrite person who just dances because the market out there segmented, like you don't satisfy everybody. Trust me.
Sure.
So stay true to what you want to do. Segment your market. It's just when you enter anyhow, that's when you get disappointed. If you enter anyhow without like, okay, these are the people I want to serve. So if they accept me, I'm fine. That's when you get disappointed. But if you segment your market and you know what you're going to go do, and you've talked to people, you've analyzed everything, you don't have a problem. Forget the failure. Failure will come. That's how people learn. I said, if you see successful people, ask them how many times they failed. So, and then play chess. Play chess. Ben, today I'll tell you, if you don't know how to play chess, and anybody who is watching me or listening, if you don't know how to do that, go and learn how to play chess. Because you know one thing chess will teach you? Strategy.
Strategizing for a project.
Chess will teach you how to analyze your opponent and the consequences of every action.
Okay.
I'm serious. I said, I'm saying again, if you want to be a good hustler, learn chess, how to play it. I don't know, I don't care if you want to learn it online or you find somebody who will teach you. Learn this and teach your kids how to play chess. It is a strategy thing. If they capture you, everything else is gone. So you dominate yourself by playing the chess game. Use your pawn right. Use your queen's right. Use your king. Use everything right. And the consequences of every action. It will tell you how to think swiftly and make decisions. That's hustling. It will teach you. And then fail often. My next point, number 9. Fail often. Fail. Like, do stuff. Because in the beginning of everything, nobody, for me, like my classroom, when I go to the classroom and I tell them, if we start the class for the first month, I'm not expecting anything big from you. I just want to see your commitment to the class.
The class. Yeah.
It is when after I have impacted into you after 3 months, then I'm expecting something bigger. But for the first month, you have the chance to fail. And for me, this is the part where lecturer, when I come in, for the first a month and a half, I don't even use that assessment.
Okay.
When I test them, I don't tell them, but I don't use it. Because I know I'm building up. I'm building up on something. So after a month and a half or 2 months, when I can tell that they've really understood everything, that's when I want to test how you think about the topic. And that's when now I score you.
Right.
So I'm not preparing you, me as a lecturer, I'm not preparing you to fail. That's not I come with the intention of making sure you understand what is it. So I'm preparing you for something bigger, not for the classroom assessment alone.
Okay.
And so for me, the way I teach them giving them the real world examples. So that the way I teach them, for me, I get to the point where I say, if you lecture somebody and it has to take the person to read thousands of books to understand what it is, you have failed as a lecturer. Because everything else is around me. Make it relatable, like reality for me. That's knowledge impacting. I should be able to read a few pages and be ready for your exam. Because everything else, if I picture what you told me, like if I'm relating everything, if your examples come, I should be able to give you 1,001 examples because now I understand what we are doing.
Certainly. Exactly.
So do you understand what you are doing in your life? That's the whole point. Do you understand your hustle? Or you are just there like, I am Oyeku. I feel Oyeku. So you're moving, and you know when you're moving with the wind, because it will toss you out and about. But if you understand your hustle, that I'm a vulcanizer, what do I need to do to be the best vulcanizer in that area? I said Gobe, in that area. I know these students, where do I strategically place myself around the school and be the best? Take feedback from the people. Charlie, is it like the way I add some stuff, maybe onions and fry the oil so the scent will, is it better for you? Like, know where you are. One example, Ben, our brother Muslims, they don't eat pork, right?
Yeah.
What business do you have in situating a pork with yam chips in the Muslim community? No, so you understand the hustle where I'm talking about.
I get it now. Being strategic.
That's why I told you, learn to play chess. It's different. It makes you think different.
Sure.
On any movement there, yeah. So the art of the hustling. If I see you, Ben, your life tells me what you are thinking here. Period.
Sure.
Are you the one that mediocre type? Oh, and then the ones that will stay on one tower crack so that if I meet somebody who is better than I am, I'm going silently and I'm learning. In humility, humble, serve them so you can learn something. That's the art of the hustle. I need to impact in everybody. If you didn't hear anything else, at least listen to this one. Serve with the mentality that I've met somebody who is better than I am. I'm going to serve, not your enemy. The person is not your competitor. Don't see that person that way. Because if you see competition and all you see is an enemy to be destroyed, so lama clearly beno. I have met competition, somebody who is better than I am, in humility and let me learn from the person. That's the art of the hustle. Hustle so you become better, but it takes process. So fail often. Don't forget about how people will laugh at you. People will say, you are on your own journey. You are your best judge. Sometimes you look back and you're like, last year I was like this, now I can talk in front of people. Hey, that's an improvement. Celebrate your success. Fail often. You fail. Don't worry about them. And then last one, never surrender. Where we come from, either we succeed or we die.
Okay. You
No,
succeed or you die.
if we don't do no, this I was telling a friend last time that for me, where I am, if I fall down, that's it. Nobody is standing.
Wow.
So you see, when you realize life that way, you hustle different.
The approach is different.
And then if you tell yourself, challenging to machine legacy, I want to retire by age 50, you hustle different. If you tell yourself, oh, be assured, you hustle different because now, oh, one share, be assured. You know, so that one, every flow, every party, you are there, you see what I'm saying? And then the focus ones, you strategically move every step. And so we've talked about 10 things, habits of very highly successful hustlers. If you inculcate this it has helped me. I tune away from distraction. I focus on what I want to do. I make friends, very good friends who help my cause. I help. I help. I focus. I make friends. I help people. And then I talked about eliminate distraction. I talk about get focused. I talk about improve daily. Books need banner. Books need allow softwares now and helping my industry. I'm aware of it and I'm learning it. The one that will help my cause. So invest yourself. It also means like every time you spend your money on luxury stuff and other stuff. Sometimes you need to buy books. There are times when you just need to go out and all you buy is books.
Exactly.
Not the shoes, not the clothes, because those ones they keep coming, they will go. Buy the knowledge.
The knowledge.
Then I charge you to buy an instrument today or this year before the year and buy an instrument and learn an instrument. Buy the chess and learn the chess. These two things. We'll talk about it next year. Buy an instrument, a musical instrument. Buy the chess and go out there. Sometimes buy the book. Buy books. Just buy books. Don't just go to the library, whether Legon library, whatever EPP.
Wherever.
Buy books. Just buy books, either in your area or books that you think will ginger you in a different level.
Sure.
That's the art of the hustle, not the hustle. I'm talking about the hustle on the street. They are pickpocketing. The hustle where you know what you want. You know that I'm gonna be determined to be confident in my area. In other words, you know what you're about.
Exactly.
So I've presented to you the art of the hustle. Simple.
Well, you have given us a pictorial view of the real act of a hustle. And viewers, I think if you're not having anything on your lap, I think he deserves a standing ovation. I mean, straight up. So because Tackie, we just want to say thank you because you have given us a depth knowledge of how we even view hustling. And you have really given us, this is a nugget that will last a lifetime for us. And we truly appreciate you and your time. You have walked the walk. And you are not just talking it as if you've just read it in a book, someone experienced and you share it. I've known you and I've learned about you and I've heard about you as well. And then what you presented definitely is the embodiment of the person who is sitting there presenting. So on behalf of the African Seasoned Speakers Network, I want to say a very big thank you to you and your time and your opportunity giving you to present to us. This is going to last a lifetime, as I said. And for those of us that are going to watch this live streaming later on, I'm sure you are going to even get a deeper understanding than most of us that were enjoying, because it was intense. It was intense and you want to grab everything. But we're going to go back again and we're going to watch it over and over and over to be able to get the fine details of all that you shared with us. And viewers, I told you earlier on, he is a disc jockey, a DJ by passion. So I wanted to ask Doctor that what doesn't he do?
You see, that's a good question, but that's the hallmark of a hustler. Like my thing right now is, because of the COVID, it has come to make us realize that even the career that you think you are building today, something can happen health-wise or anything, and you'll be out of job. I know a friend who all his lifetime he's done banking and finance. When the UBA bank went down, everything else came crashing until we started talking. And guess what? Right now, he's into serious farming. Now he's been able to raise over 2,000 layers.
Wow.
Harvesting eggs and other stuff. Now he's doing cabbage and other stuff. So you see, you need to keep evolving. Check. Once you're sitting by your computer, start learning something else too.
Sure.
Hustle. Like, don't wait for the situation to come before. So start learning in your comfort zone so that when the uncomfort one comes, you are ready for it. I tell you, salam alaikum. Look, nothing will be given to you. Nothing, great people, nothing is given. And if it's given to you, it's no reward.
Yeah.
When we're growing up in North Carolina, you know, those people who were born with silver spoon in their mouth, they could not maintain the success their father and parents left for them.
Exactly.
But the ones up and coming with the new generation, the one that you create for yourself, you're able to maintain it because you know what? It's your own hustle.
It's your own hustle. I'm just loving what I'm seeing in the chat.
Thank you for the opportunity. I do everything. Yeah, if I study, I'll be able. I fix my cars. I do. People who are around me know in my house. They know. If you visit me a lot, you know. I ride bikes. I used to own a big bike, Kawasaki Ninja. I do pretty much everything. I use the Django car. I have a Jeep Django car and everything. Those who know, they know. I hike. Me and baby. Because when I was graduating from Central University, one thing my Tabo told us that be careful what you call your hobby, because someday it might be the one that will feed you.
Yeah. I mean, for most of us, yes, that's the truth.
Your MC probably will put food on your table more.
Sure. It is.
And so be careful what you call your hobby. And when you're doing it passionately. Hustle. Like for one whole day, put some stuff in and learn it. Like you have to say, like someday you're going to need it to survive.
Exactly.
That's the hustle I'm talking about. So dominate yourself.
Yes. That's the hustle that he's talking about. All right, so I just want to pick a question from the chat box that we have in currently. So who do I say? Okay, so someone is asking or requesting let me add Dr. T again to see so that he can pick up the question for us. Hello, Dr. T. Okay, so I'll just read the questions that we have in here so that so that we can see from Dr. T. So I have up here, he was asking, how can you balance the side hustle with the 9 to 5 job? So yeah, Dr. T. Yeah, thank you. But just a question for you. I was reading the question. It says, how can you balance the side hustle with your 9 to 5 p.m. job?
Okay. Is my microphone clear?
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear now.
So for me, you know, I told you I was in the US Navy for 8 years, and I still in between I was studying, I was doing my master's and my doctorate. The employer owns the 9 to 5. After 5, you own it. Then out there.
Okay.
You're sitting on social media. By the time those days in traffic, I have my books, I have my pod, and I was listening to the textbooks. Some of them, because luckily they came in soft copy, I was able to install something that would read it to me. I was making my notes. So that between 9 to the time 5 to the time I sleep, I own that time. That was when I was doing my own hustle. And then the weekends, when you're home, what are you doing? It's not a time to be talking to. If you know you are just starting, focus your energy. For some of us, where we think we are, we've reached. Now we can sit down and talking to friends and be wasting all the time. If you are not there, manage your time well. So between the 5 to the time you sleep, maybe 10, still one hour away. 1 hour. So instead of you sleep 10, now sleep like 11. Do some deep concentration. Between 9 to 11 that you sleep, you should have some hideout in your house where you just go. When you shut the door, the kids are asleep or your wife is asleep. Let your wife know your routine. You know what, wifey? This is for our progress later. And so these 2 hours every time is for me and my books. Kill it.
Okay.
Kill it. Sometimes it means maybe finding a friend's house or somewhere in the neighborhood where it is quiet, there's lights that you can be reading alone.
Okay.
Bro, nothing will be given to you if you don't go for it. I said I was in the military. Sometimes I was stationed in Alaska in the cold, but we were studying, we were submitting assignments. So if you tell me 9 to 5, military, we have no time. We wake up at 4. Sometimes we go to bed at 12. There's no time. There's nothing like you close. It's what the commander tells you that you are closed. That's when you go. That's when you go back to your barracks.
Wow.
So if we were able to pull it off when we're in the military and you're doing common job 9 to 5, come on, man. Trust me, you should be able to conquer a lot. Unless you're not hustling. That's what I'm saying. Hustling, it means different to different people. It means different things to different people. If you don't just talk about it. If you want to be about it, be about it.
Right.
I know somebody who is sewing. I know somebody who is sewing as a side hustle. He's a banker. No, she's a banker and she's sewing like clothes, blouse and skirts and stuff. And I'm telling you, she's making more money because now she's perfected the kaba and sleeves. That because of the way the stitches, she's bought a new machine and the stitches are so fine and everything. She's sewing for people in America and the UK. And on the weekends now, so her weekends when you call her, she doesn't have time to talk to you. That's a hustle.
Wow. That's a hustle. That's a side hustle that is now becoming a major thing.
She's prioritized everything. So you get to the point where now she's got big customers, like people are calling for orders, and she can stop the banking job. She'll quit. She told me. He said, if I get to the point where now the customers I want to reach, if I start reaching them, I will stop the banking job because that's already stressful. And now he's making time. You are earning time, he's making time.
He's making it time. That gets to that point.
Yeah. And then somebody also started cooking. Somebody also started cooking, doing orders weekends for parties and stuff. Now, let me tell you, he's quit his job already.
Straight.
A male, my friend.
He's mastered a side hustle, and now the side hustle is now his major thing from it. So, viewers. You see, because of COVID, we are doing virtual. But Dr. T will be in town somewhere in December this year, where we're going to have the in-person, where it's going to be an interactive section throughout.
And I'll DJ there too. I'll DJ so this
Right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It has been a time of wisdom nuggets being shared here. Our next session, Dr. T, you're going to dive deeper into the discipline you picked from the military, and how you inculcated into the hustle.
I infused that into my book, The Rhythms of Life, and I'll talk about that.
Exactly.
That book is on Amazon and everything, so we'll talk about that, and I'll tell you the rhythm. When I tell you the rhythms of life, Charlie,
I love it. Then you're moving it, So even though you walk through, the valleys of shadows of death, that's a rhythm.
Because the thing is, you've been told already, and it will happen.
All right.
Your reaction to it. And so, for me, like I said, because I know where I'm going, and I know it is part of the growth process. Wow. If you don't fall, then you're not thinking big, and you're not doing any big thing. You should fall where to the point. Some people depression. Then now you go back retrospect and think through. That's when I tell you the chess comes in. That's when you start playing chess.
Exactly.
And so anyone watching me, my final remarks, I charge you to learn an instrument and buy chess.
Okay.
Learn an instrument. For me, I'm learning the bass guitar. One thing it does is you learn coordination, you learn everything else. Because after the bass alone is not making the music. You need it with everybody else. And I'm going to teach you why I said that when I come to your studio. Why I said everybody should invest in some musical instrument and buy the chess. We will relate it all to the rhythms of life.
Wow. I'm already clapping in my mind for you. And then I've already, gotten up to give you a standing ovation. Thank you so much, Dr. T. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for our series, which we've revived again. And on what a wonderful note to revive the Power Impact series with this, the act of hustle. So even though we're up for some time, we are back again. We are live. We are here to stay, and we are here to give you best and nothing else. The rhythms of life.
Share the program. Let's make it big. The biggest show in Ghana and in the world, because this is where we're going to learn. It's the classroom right now. That's
our classroom.
Forget
that's our classroom.
Share the link.
That's our classroom. That's
right.
So if you've not liked our link, just like the link and then put a comment in there, and then let's get it to Dr. T and any other person that's going to work. So today, thank you. In our next session, next week, hopefully, we're going to get another presenter who is also going to take us to the next level from what Dr. T has taken us to. Thank you so much for joining us. My name, as usual, Ambassador Benjamin Owusu-Ansah, and I was here with Dr. Theophilus Tackie. Same time next week, we're going to be here and we're going to walk the journey again of a successful story that is going to shape our lives and shape whatever we're doing. Thank you. God bless you. My name is Ambassador Benjamin Owusu-Ansah.